So, I got a new roof rack. Sick! Let's jump right in. We're at the point in time where I'm gonna pull the rack off. I need to take a moment to comprehend it because I'm so excited. It's really just starting to actually sink in how much I hate this big old thing. I hate it. Like, I hate it. And I'm so excited to get it off the car. I actually need a moment to let it sink in. Hate is a strong word. That's maybe a little excessive. It's definitely served its purpose, and it's not like fundamentally I need to replace it. I don't. It's fitting its purpose perfectly for what it is. I don't want it to be serving the purpose anymore. I want to go in a different direction. So. Fine, I ended up getting a couple of mates over, Phil and Tommy. They came over and gave me a hand to get it off, so the three of us, it was a piece of cake. So thanks for that, boys, appreciate it. God, it looks weird, mate. Look at that, it looks so odd. No roof rack, I don't know, it's just, how bizarre is that? Looks like I'm ready to go and do some jumps through sand dunes and all that stuff. How odd. I kind of like it, but I don't. Like, I do like the clean look, but then at the same time it seems very naked as well. Yeah, I'm going to give it a wash now. The roof hasn't been properly washed since I've had it, which is nearly 3 years. And I don't know when it was washed before that. That roof rack has clearly been on there for a while, because then once the new rack's on there, it won't be getting washed again for quite a while. So the roof rack, why did I get a new one? Well, if you've been watching the channel for a while now, you would have probably heard me say a few times, Arnie, look out. Take it over there. Take it over there, come on. That I had really hated that roof rack for quite some time, and it's been, whenever a question was asked in the Q&A or something like that came up, what's one thing you change about Gus? What's the next mod for Gus? What's those types of questions? My answer would typically be something to do with the roof rack. These couple of years later, finally been able to find myself in a position where financially I can afford it and it was viable to change. But now that the opportunity for the new awning has come along, yeah, cool. I got a 270 awning. And I'll get into the awnings later on as well, or the awning itself later on. That's another video probably. But as far as the rack went, I didn't want to go and stick a nice big flash new awning on that old one. So I thought, well, this is probably the perfect opportunity while I'm up there playing around with it all to bite the bullet. Coincidentally, it's all sort of happened at the time when financially I am in a position where I can fork out a couple of grand and get the rack that I've really been wanting from the very beginning. So it's all sort of the stars of the line, and it's all worked out pretty well. That then led me to start looking at front runner and RHINO. I don't mind the front runner, but I much rather the RHINO. One of the reasons I really like the Rhino is this backbone system where it's just the full metal side to the gutter. I reckon that looks really cool. Quite a fan of that. That and a few other things where just all the extra little bits and pieces you can get for it really sold me on the Rhino. A few people I know have said some things about a front runner. Not that I took it too seriously, I still made my own educated guess on it, but the same things are also said about Rhino. So much for muchness perhaps, but that's what I went with. I went with the Rhino. I thought if I'm going to pull the trigger on a $2,000 roof rack, just get the one that you really want. I'll break down costs and that later on. I won't bother getting into that now. I'll do that once I've got it all on, and I'll take it out and give it a bit of a run and try it all out, and I'll digress on all that at a later stage. But yeah, for now, there she is. Pretty cool, I'm excited. We've got it dummy fitted. It's pretty cool. I had old lights on the old rack, which was just a cheap set of crappy King's lights on each side and two rear little cube LED lights that were on the rear. I was never really happy with them, but at the same time they were cheap and they served a purpose, and I had no need to replace them, hence why I never did. Because I've got the nice new rack, what I've done is I've gone and bought myself some nice steady work lights, and the idea is with these lights is this is a mount kit. So this mount kit screws into, let's see if you can see that picture there, that screws into the back, into the backbone, into the holes into the backbone, and then from that mounting kit then you can mount the little rock lights into that. So they'll be cool. You can see on the picture they'll be mounted there on the side, and then they'll angle sort of down and out. So I have two on each side, and then I've bought a 2-pack or a pair of these work lights for the rear. Yeah, and they weren't a lot. I think this kit, these two cost me about 70 bucks, and these mount kits were 30 something, and the little rock lights were 30 to 40 bucks as well. So not quite 300 odd bucks, or maybe about 300, bought me all that, which I think is a bargain. So especially seeing as how compatible they are with the brand new rack, I reckon that's really cool. Another few things I've bought as well is I've ended up getting myself a RHINO-RACK mount kit for the Max Tracks. I'm really looking forward to that because I've always only had the Max Tracks up there cable tied or tied with a, oh the heat's getting to me, tied with not ratchet straps, tie downs. The tie down, yeah, tie downs. So I've got myself a kit of them, which is going to be cool, and I've got the pins, the actual Max Track pins, to replace out the RHINO-RACK screw-in ones. So that'll be a lot easier to deal with rather than the screw one. I got a Stoic kit. Now this is for a shovel or axe. I'll show you once that's on there. And I've just got a generic awning mount kit. That will be for the shower tent. Yeah, where do I start? I've got to figure out this loom to run those lights. I'm going to have to do a little bit of, not much, but I just got to rewire them in, really. These are the old plugs from the old lights, so I think I'll be able to lop them off and just rewire the new ones straight in. All the lengths are right, but I'll basically start doing that now. I got the light bar to go back on, and after that, shower tent, shovel, max tracks, and I got the solar power, the solar panel. I got rid of the solar panel, and that hasn't got any mounts on it, so I could make some little L bracket mounts. Anyway, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Beauty. Okay, they are mounted. Just need to wire them up. Done the light bar as well, which is good. That went on super easy. Another reason why I wanted the Rhino was just because everything's just so easy. Those channels underneath the bar, you just slide a fitting straight in and bolt everything straight up to it. Oh yeah, that slides in, that screws onto the roof rack, like so. Don't break the light. Jeez, mate. And there we go. That bolts in like so. Okay. Pretty cool. Well, the side lights are all assembled and mounted. To be fair, I don't think they're going to do much with this awning. Depends, they're coming down a bit, but I think a lot of that beam is going to come out and hit the awning and will deflect a fair bit of light, but that's alright. Once the awning's out and open, if I want them on, then happy days. At least there'll be a bit of light still. And it's nice to be working with some nice new gear, and it all just works well, and yeah, all modular, and yeah, it's really nice. It's a real treat for me to be working with nice stuff like this, because yeah, you know how it is with old cars, usually it's sort of gets a bit DIY and can be a little bit how you going, but no, this is all really neat. I'm really happy. It's a nice treat. So this was the appeal of the RHINO-RACK. This case in point, right? I've just put the shower tent on, and it's just so incredibly satisfying to be able to, hang on while I get comfy on the ladder. Oh, collect a bit of rubbish as well. So it's so satisfying to be able to just put it on so easy. I don't really have any other way to explain that, but because it's all modular, the shower tent's just gone straight on. Just neat and tidy and easy. You can get to it nice and easily. This is bonza. I'm glad I pulled the trigger and did it. This is really cool. You can tell I'm kind of geeking out a little bit. It's the next day. Got pretty late last night and I ran out of little clips that I needed to get these lights on. So yeah, all the lights are all mounted and wired in, which is cool. They look good. 2 on the rear, 2 on each side. We've just got to nip up the wiring with some zip ties, neaten it all up. Let's have a look here. It's this side. this side. Not bad. It's the middle of the day and they still seem pretty powerful, so that's good. And then the two rear ones, ignore the panel. I've still got to get up on the roof and get the panel sorted, but yeah, so they look good. Everything's a mess. I've got crap everywhere. But yeah, you get the idea. All working well. It's nice. So I'll get on the roof and fix that panel up. That's the last piece of the puzzle. I got the shovel on last night and I mounted the max tracks as well. They look good. This is the little stow it design for shovels and axes and things like that. 2 buttons on the side and it's just a quick release. So I'm not 100%. I'm going to leave the shovel here. I don't necessarily like where it is, but there's not really anywhere else to put it, so I'm going to look at that later once everything else is done. And I don't know, it's just me being a little bit pedantic probably, but yeah, that's a neat little trick. That it's great. That's it for this one, folks. In the next one I'll go through the awning itself, the awning install. I'll do a initial review on the awning and then I'll break down the costs on the roof rack, what I paid for all the accessories that came with it, and I'll do a full price rundown on the awning as well. Thanks for watching, take it easy out there and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.